All right, good morning and welcome to another Sunday Bible Bites. We just got finished with breakfast. We've had some extremely lively conversation this morning. There are fears among us and apparently among a lot of people that things in our nation are headed in a direction that are frankly just scary. I just learned this morning because I don't watch much news, but the Amazon, who controls a lot of the servers, wherever they hide servers these days, is forcing the conservative website Parler off of their platform, I guess tonight at midnight. So I don't know what they're going to do or when they will ever come back up again. The president has been deleted from Twitter and Facebook. A bunch of his staff have been deleted. A lot of other conservatives have been deleted from these social platforms. So it's a very scary time, I think, for a lot of Americans to have these things happening in the United States. This form of censorship just runs contrary to our values and our Constitution, frankly. So it's a scary time, and we need to pray harder. It's really the only weapon we have. We've got our armor of God and we've got prayer. So we have to pray, that these things ferret themselves out and we get things back on track as they should be. So let's open with the prayer and then we're going to get into our message today. All right, let's bow our heads. All right, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning. We are grateful for the beautiful day you have provided us. Your abundant grace envelops us. It literally brings us warmth and joy to know that we have you to lean on, you to turn on, and you to trust. We can never, should never, and must never forget that. You are always with us. There's three of us here this morning, and Jesus said, where two or more of you are gathered, there I will be too. So we saved a seat at the table. We know that our Lord Jesus Christ is with us this morning. We ask that He bless this word that we're about to hear. Bless all of us and bless our nation in the coming weeks and months as we work through these issues that divide our nation so deeply. We ask that you guide us, protect us, and of course walk with us. And we ask all of these things in your Son, Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen. Amen. Okay, today's message is going to be a bit different. Some will think this is a political sermon or message when really it's little more than stating the facts of where we are as a country today in relation to our conservative Christian values. At Moyoc Christian Fellowship, we don't hide from who we are, and as I said, we are conservative Christians. What we also do is share the message God has placed on our hearts. So we'll see if God lets us get back to 1 Samuel next week. By the same token, we are traditionalists, which means we have an orthodox view of Christianity and the Holy Bible. For the younger crowd who may not be familiar with an orthodox view of Christianity, the word orthodox takes its meaning from the Greek words orthos, or right, and doxa, or belief. So the word orthodox means correct belief or right thinking. That's exactly how we feel about the Holy Bible, all of its books, its chapters and verses. We don't cherry pick what we like in the Bible and then forget about what we don't like. The Bible was never intended to make us happy. It serves to be as our guide, our roadmap, the history of who we are. It teaches us right from wrong. It tells us about our Creator and His plans for us. So the Bible brings us calm, and I guess in that maybe it does make us happy. The world, and the United States in particular, has flipped upside down. It's now standing on its head. The United States House of Representatives, the champions of women's rights, have decided to further women's rights by denying they even exist. You heard that right. The Speaker of the House has ended the use of the words man, woman, husband, father, grandfather, mother, grandmother, aunt, uncle, and the use of those words is banned in the House of Representatives. And all gender identity words are out too. Oh, and by the way, members of the House no longer have brothers and sisters. Essentially, they are orphans in the vernacular. So now, as a member of the House, if the member of the House brings their family to a hearing or event at the Capitol, they will have to introduce their children as my DNA match or my direct descendants. They're still debating the use of the words children and child. This furthers their desire to erase the family unit and family identity. Up until about 2 months ago, Black Lives Matter listed dissolving the traditional family unit from society as a mission on their website. That's right, they want to erase the two-parent home, made up of a mother and father. Only after receiving a lot of bad press from conservatives did they remove it from their website. But BLM never said they changed their position on this. They just took it off their website. So at this point, you shouldn't be surprised that our institutions of higher education, our esteemed universities, have been issuing lists of words for years that students cannot use on campuses. These bastions of higher education want their campuses to be a safe place where no one is ever offended by anything. When I was young, the college experience was about exposing students to the world as much as education itself, but not anymore. Now it's about safe spaces with locks on doors tucked all over campuses where students can escape the horrors of human existence and decompress and regain their composure. Here's the problem. What do you think students are really using those safe havens with locks on the doors for? This is a Christian forum, so I'm not diving into procreation in this lesson, but 1 Corinthians 6 verses 18 through 20 does come to mind. Look it up. Here's where this might get scary. If you think those on the left are just trying to build a utopian society, think again. This is about control. They want to control you and everything you do. There was a time not too long ago in which the United States was fighting for democracy in places like the Soviet Union. I know the young folk don't know what the Soviet Union is, so let me tell them that it was once a large bloc of Eastern European countries like Ukraine and Russia and others that all came under the rule of one leader. Communism was their lifestyle. Everyone in the Soviet Union was poor except for the ruling party. There was no capitalism, no way of growth, no personal wealth, just everyone being poor together. Bread was rationed and you stood in line to get it. Everyone pretty much dressed alike because everyone got their clothes from the same state-controlled store. Even if you took a picture in color on the streets during the Cold War Soviet Union, it would still look like it was in black and white. In short, they lived a horrible existence. Fast forward to Russia today, and it's all in color. This came to be because of two men, President Ronald Reagan and President Mikhail Gorbachev. Today, the youth of Russia play on the streets with smartphones in their hands, wearing Western-style clothes, and it pretty much looks like any scene in any city in the U.S. or Europe. Grocery stores that were barren during the Cold War in Russia now rival Publix and Kroger with their assortments of foods, goods, and beverages. Life is good in Russia today, but some in America want to convert us to socialism and ultimately communism. So if you're wondering why they would want this for us when we have liberated so many other countries from it, it's because they want to control us. These folks are literally taking pages from the Communist Party playbook and slowly introducing them into Americans' lives. The playbook suggests taking measures to slowly take away liberties from Americans. Controlling what we say, what we think, is on the list of measures to get us all under one thumb. COVID has been used to a great degree to further this control by telling us we can't leave our homes for periods of time, issuing curfews to control our movements during specific hours under the auspices of COVID being more deadly between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Prohibiting speech not only in Congress and universities, but in social media, which is all but controlled by the left. Say, write, or share anything that runs in opposition to their party line, and you can face suspension from anywhere from 3 days to 30 days or life. Over the past several days, Facebook, Twitter have both deleted the accounts of the President of the United States and other conservatives. Now Amazon has announced it's shutting down the conservative site Parler tonight at midnight. Conservative views, and especially Christian views, are becoming prohibited forms of speech. This is the control being exerted over us slowly but surely. The sad thing is, some think this is only affecting conservatives, but it will affect us all. All right, now, if you think I'm some conspiracy theorist, start Googling this stuff I'm talking about. COVID, although a very real virus, has been exploited by many to further their control and dominance over us. Consider this. When COVID first started to creep into our sphere of understanding, Dr. Fauci at the CDC insisted we did not need to wear masks and that we should stop buying them so they'd be more readily available for medical professionals. A few months later, he flipped and said we should all be in masks. Ask yourself where we might be today if we had all been wearing masks a month or two earlier. Next, the CDC created a list of recommended actions to slow the virus down. State governors then came up with their own creative solutions that shut down restaurants and businesses they didn't think were essential. But they did decide some businesses were essential, like liquor stores, massage parlors, and even adult bookstores. Then they moved to shut down churches around the country, and they did. The vast majority of pastors went along with this nonsense in violation of their constitutional rights of assembly and freedom of religion, among others. This, by the way, is also in the Communist Party playbook. If you can keep folks out of churches, churches will close and due to lack of funds, and they'll die. Folks that don't attend church are more likely to drift away from their relationship with God. And all of this opens the door for state-controlled religion. Folks, right now, churches are closing their doors and putting their buildings up for sale. Some are simply going into foreclosure. Here at Moyock Christian Fellowship, we decided to ramp up during COVID and continue to minister locally and around the world. We meet each Sunday for breakfast around a common table. We fellowship, update each other on our families and what we've done the past week. We pray. We talk about opportunities to help the least of our brothers and sisters in the community. And we videotape our weekly message. We do this without masks. Now, we're not climbing on top of each other, so we're still socially distancing, and our numbers at this event are fewer than your family dinner in most cases. Several days ago, Brother Mark mentioned this on Facebook and invited others to follow us and watch our Sunday messages from the comfort of their own homes. You would think that we opened the floodgates of hell. 3 or 4 folks commented that we were putting the entire community at risk and pretty much that folks were going to die because of our small church meetings. These folks were far outnumbered by others that liked what we were doing. You know, I've often said that if I can reach one soul while making 100 others mad, it's been a good day. So let me tell you this about how Facebook works. If you create a post, as Brother Mark did in this case, and right off the bat, a few people leave mean, uninformed, and hateful comments, it gets the attention of other folks, as it did in this case. Every thumbs up and positive comment made on this post meant that each of these folks' friends saw what they did and said as well, and it grows from there. So in this case, those few negative comments helped us reach an untold number of others. Those 3 or 4 negative comments helped so many more people get the impression of God's existence, and they unwittingly helped us spread God's word. For that, we are grateful to them. So how do I wrap this up? Well, first I challenge all pastors out there to be strong and courageous. Don't let anyone shut you down. I have some pastor friends in the United Methodist Church in Virginia that have been shut out of their church buildings by their bishop over COVID fears. I always suggest to them that it might be time to stand up against this. I know this would be hard for them because the denomination is holding their pensions over their heads, but standing up in numbers would help force their hands. Our mandates come from God, not some denominational bishop. We ultimately are ordained by God, not some business construct under the protection of a 501c3. Lastly, it's time for all of us to stand up for the American Constitution, our way of life, our families, and our ability to exercise our First Amendment rights. Folks, this has been the Word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Now, get out there and help one of your brothers and sisters in the community that need your assistance.